The Moto Watch comes in style. This time it carries something quite interesting behind it: Polar's blessing for health tracking accuracy. But after wearing it for a while, I realized that this watch is both a champion and a flop at the same time. So today I want to walk you through everything I discovered while testing it on my wrist. Let's inspect. Hey my dear tech friends, great to meet you. I'm Michael, and we go straight to the most important function of this watch, namely the health tracking. Like most modern wearables, the Moto Watch can track heart rate, SpO2, stress, sleep, steps, daily activities, and so on. With some of these metrics, I am perfectly happy. With others, honestly, stunned, not in the good way. So let's start with the good news. Heart rate tracking here is crafted almost to perfection. I had very low expectations, but this sensor absolutely rocks. In many cases, it's surprisingly close to the accuracy of the Polar H10, which is a chest-mounted tracker considered one of the most reliable reference devices. Moderate activity, relaxed state, intense workouts, the sensor remained rock solid. No weird drops, no random spikes, great consistency overall. There is only one strange limitation: you can measure heart rate either in real time or at 6-minute intervals. That's it, no other option, which honestly feels like a very odd design decision. Still, accuracy-wise, it is one of the strongest heart rate sensors I've tested recently. Second major strength is sleep tracking, and here I need to say something I rarely say in smartwatch reviews. For the first time, as a tech tester, I'm experiencing sleep tracking that is coming from a smartwatch and is almost as good as the Oura Ring 4 and Whoop. And that's a very serious compliment. In fact, the results were significantly more accurate than devices like the Phoenix 8, the Amazfit Balance 2, the Galaxy Watch 8, and several other very respectable smartwatches. Again, in my case, the Moto Watch provides very detailed sleep stages, and the wake detection is impressively accurate. Of course, I'm not comparing it against the medical ECG measuring brain waves, but I have my own testing method where I manually mark night awakenings, and this watch came extremely close to those timestamps. Most likely, this has something to do with Polar's sleep tracking algorithms. Sleep stage detection from the wrist works best if the algorithm is trained on large datasets, and Polar has been building that database for years. So in this area, Moto really delivered something impressive. The bad news? Step counting is way off, not slightly off. I had scenarios where Amazfit Active and Oura Ring were showing around 2,500 steps, while the Moto Watch reports around 10,000, which is ridiculous discrepancy. The watch does have both an accelerometer and a gyroscope, so technically this should be solvable with firmware tuning. Hopefully Motorola will improve this with updates, but right now, step tracking is not reliable. Another area that confused me a little is the stress monitoring. The app suggests that stress is calculated using HRV, the heart rate variability, so essentially when you see it as a stress score, it probably is HRV under disguise. That's not necessarily bad, but it also means that Moto does not expose raw HRV data, which many enthusiasts would prefer. So overall, when it comes to health tracking, the watch is good, but also a mixed bag. Workouts are very similar to the health tracking story. There are strong points and some frustrating limitations. The good news is that the excellent heart rate accuracy was a huge positive impact on sports tracking. Running, cycling, workouts, the data coming from the heart rate sensor is very reliable. And there are plenty of workout modes which are available, but also you might stumble across two major issues. First one, GPS, or technically GNSS, since the watch can communicate with multiple positioning systems. In theory, this should be great. In practice, it's not very stable. During several cycling sessions, I received multiple GPS signal loss warnings, and there were no clouds at all. The final track is complete, but these interruptions were frustrating and distracting, and for sports tracking, reliable GPS is essential. The second issue is the lack of training analysis. Let me be clear, I actually love the simplicity of the Moto Watch app. The interface is clean, easy, and very well designed, but when it comes to sports analytics, there is simply not enough data. You do get the route map, the heart rate zones, and the calorie estimate. That's basically it. Missing features include pace analysis, elevation gains, segments, deeper training metrics. For comparison, apps like Zepp from Amazfit provide far more detailed insights, even on watches in the same price niche. So yes, the Moto Watch has the potential to be capable, and the voice coaching during workouts is actually very nice, but without reliable GPS and deeper analytics, it's unlikely to attract serious athletes. Design, on the other hand, is very pleasant. The watch feels lightweight, feels comfortable, unboxing is simple, no assembly necessary. The look is very classic, almost traditional at least for the black version, but there are huge bezels, cleverly disguised with the watch faces. The display is protected by Gorilla Glass 3, which is positive. The model I tested is mostly plastic, though it still feels reasonably well built. It also carries IP68 protection. However, the watch is rated only 1 ATM water resistance, which means you should avoid swimming with it, which likely explains why water sports are missing from the workout list. And honestly, this puts it behind even some of the fitness bands, like Xiaomi Smart Band or Huawei Band when it comes to durability. Now, let's talk about the hardware. Motorola chose a strategy similar to Garmin. Very few technical details are officially disclosed. The company claims up to 13 days of battery life, but the battery capacity is not specified. Yet, based on typical designs, it's probably just above 300 mAh. In my testing, with always-on display, all the health tracking active, and some occasional workouts, I get around 5 days per charge, which is actually quite decent. Connectivity is simple, there is no LTE, no Wi-Fi, just Bluetooth. The watch runs a very lightweight MCU with RTOS-based operating system, which means excellent battery efficiency but also limited functionality. There is no Wear OS, no app marketplace, no third-party app support, so the ecosystem is very limited. But at the same time, the system feels very fast, very stable, likely because it does very little in terms of animations. And clearly, Motorola borrowed some Polar know-how, especially in the health tracking algorithms. The display is a 1.43-inch AMOLED panel with peak brightness of 1500 nits, which sits behind Gorilla Glass 3, although the bezel does not provide much protection on the edges, so scratches may appear over time. Brightness is perfectly adequate for outdoor use, even in strong sunlight. My only real complaint remains the thick bezels, although the watch faces hide them fairly well, and the watch face selection is somewhat limited, and unfortunately always-on display options are not available for all the watch faces. If we dig more into the software, it is simple and lightweight. Very few stutters, probably because animations are minimal. The rotating crown is excellent for navigation, although it lacks haptic feedback, which feels a bit unnatural at start. Menus are very well organized. Quick toggles, settings, and notifications are easy to access. The Moto Watch smartphone app also deserves a praise. It's clean, simple, very intuitive, one of the best companion apps I've recently seen. Notification controls are well designed. You can choose which apps notify the watch, whether the screen wakes or whether notifications stay silent. But there is one big limitation. Notifications are not actionable. You cannot reply to messages, which is surprising when even an $80 Amazfit Bip 6 allows this. So let's summarize the biggest downsides: accidental crown presses, which do happen sometimes, slow GPS locking, step overcounting, missing advanced training data, no apps ecosystem, basic interface, no barometer, weak water resistance, and no direct Strava integration. That's quite a list. After hearing all these drawbacks, you might expect me to say, stay away from this watch, but I liked it a lot. There's something refreshing about its simplicity and clean design. No overcomplicated features, no unrealistic promises, just lightweight, health companion that focuses on smartwatch basics. It's definitely not at the level of Amazfit or Huawei watches in software features, and nowhere near Garmin or Polar, but for under $100, it delivers solid health tracking and great battery life. Just keep it away from water. It's the second Moto Watch that I try, and the previous one, it left me quite disappointed. This one, despite its flaws, shows that Motorola is moving in the right direction, and hopefully this collaboration with Polar will continue, because the potential here is very real. Thank you for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please follow me on social media and share this video with other tech enthusiasts. These days, we need more genuine, real-world tech testing, not just spec reading or marketing hype. I test everything very properly and thoroughly. So if my work has helped you in any way and you haven't done it yet, please do subscribe. I'm Michael, wishing you to stay healthy, and I'm gonna see you soon. Bye.